later on your own, which is totally cool. All right, who do we have here? Deborah Hay from White Bear Lake. Deb is in Canada. Hey, Deb, thanks for joining me. Jackie from Tallahassee, Florida. Amazing. Mommy Life is your first timer. I'm making it with you. This is why I'm on board with this session. Thank you for doing it. Okay, I love this. Thank you for joining me. It's really exciting to think that not only would someone be really learning about my method of freezer cooking today, but they might be trying it themselves for the very first time. I think you're brave, but also it's really easy. So I promise you, you're going to be able to do it. If you are just joining and if you're going to make the meals with me, one thing you'd want to do is like get out your ingredients. So I always go to my shopping list, and that's where I grab all the ingredients. So I might say, I'll tell you some of the things we have here today. We have ketchup, we have Worcestershire sauce, soy sauce, hot sauce, white vinegar, olive oil, chicken broth, light brown sugar, baby spinach, a bunch of seasonings. Now, I got all of my ingredients out so that I can talk to you and just kind of grab them as I go. If you're at home and you're making these meals and you turn your back and you go to your fridge, you go off frame into your pantry, that's fine. You can make a huge mess. That's fine. No one will know. So no stress. But if you can get out the ingredients and have them, it might be a little bit easier. Let's see what other people are saying. Tracy is from Ohio. Carrie Ann says she is prepping with me. I'll tell you, a lot of people have asked me for this. So I've been teaching classes for over a year now. And the number one question is, can I make the meals with you live? Like, will you send me the recipes and shopping lists ahead of time so we can make them together? And I always said no. It just seemed like, how was I going to make this work? What if I was chopping really fast? I'm not a perfectionist. Like, sometimes I'm just dumping things in the bag. But the more people asked, the more I thought, there's a way to do this. Like, I have to be able to pick recipes that would work and a way to kind of like pace myself so that we could make them together. And whether you're here going to make them live with me now, or even if you want to rewatch this later, we're going to attempt to record it so that even if you want to watch it again and make it live with me, it'd be like we're having a little prep party in your kitchen. I think that would be fun too. So let's see. Okay, I'm going back to my iPad to see where people are joining me from and if they've made freezer meals before and if they're making them live with me. I'm very curious about you guys. Coconut Girl, finally, I have majority of the supplies. Awesome. Aloha from Seattle. Hawaiian in the Northeast. I love that. I love seeing this. Sarah is making the meals. Georgette wanted to do them, but isn't prepared enough. Georgette, seriously, no stress. This is like, relax your shoulders, take a deep breath, cut yourself some slack. This is me like every day. I have 5 kids. You got to cut yourself a lot of slack when you have 5 kids. But I love that you were even into the idea of prepping the meals. That's encouraging for me to know that it's even like attractive to people as opposed to being like, heck no. Kelly, you do the work, you make the meals. I'm going to sit on my couch, or maybe you're eating your lunch. I don't know. I'm curious. If anyone is like doing something really fun and wants to tell me, that's fine. Sometimes I listen to these classes when I'm running. That's actually one of the things I do to prepare for these classes. I will go back and watch old classes that I've recorded to just see, like, did I share good tips? Did I make a big fool of myself? And I will listen to them when I'm running. So not that I would encourage that because you can't really see what I'm doing unless you're on a treadmill, but hey, you do you. Okay, Deb, everything is sorted, ready to make. Thank you. Okay, Deb, awesome. I know we have some multitaskers here. We have some planners. Are you a planner? Welcome to your tribe. You are welcome here. Hey guys, Janice, nice to see you. Amy, thank you for joining me. If I'm not saying your name, I apologize. This is like a Peloton class where the people are just joining and leaving me comments, and I'm so glad you're here. This is like my individual welcome to you. We will get started in just a few minutes. I want to give everybody time to join. We had like, I think 6,000 or 7,000 people sign up. So I know everyone won't be able to make it live today, but I do want to give people time to join. So I'll wait maybe like 2 more minutes, but I want to be respectful of your time and then get started so that we should wrap up. It takes about an hour The meals themselves are about 30 minutes, but I do share a lot of tips and just everything you need to know to make these meals, to cook them later. I'll do a little cooking demo at the end, show you how to make them in your crock pot or your Instant Pot. We even have a grill meal today. So, hey, I'm just giving you all I got to try and make your life easier. I'm not doing a grill demo. I'm not prepared to take my camera with me out on the deck, but we will do another demo at the end. Lauren is excited to be here. So, hey, Doris, thank you. And I love that you're excited because I hope you can tell I'm excited too. Like, I am here. I have brought my energy. I have brought my excitement. Maybe even if you're just like relaxing, you're going to leave this class feeling like a little energized, a little pepped up. I've heard moods are contagious, and I hope I can share some of mine with you today. I have a good mood. Okay, Terry's excited. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Teresa, Michaela, Mary Jane, D, Paulette, Judy. Thank you guys for joining me. I love seeing your names and just knowing you're taking that time out of your day. If you're making meals with me, grab your ingredients, look at your shopping list. If you want to pull some of them out ahead of time, get 6 bags. This is a reusable bag. I'll tell you more about it later, but you just need 6 regular Ziploc bags. Have a pen or a Sharpie to label your bags. If you don't have the labels, really no stress. I'm going to walk you through this step by step. I am like holding your hand or like, so if you were in my kitchen, I maybe wouldn't be holding your hand. I'd just be like your cheerleader. I'd be clapping for you and like, yeah, we got this. Judith joined. She's excited to try this. Okay. Becky, hey, Karen, Randy. I can't believe how many people are actually going to make these meals with me in real time. It's going to be fun. You're going to walk away with all the tips, everything you need to know about these freezer meals, and a stocked freezer. Really fun. Okay, we are going to get started. There's so many people here now. I know more people are going to join as we go. If it's possible to make a recording, I will send it out to you right after class. Give me a little bit of time to get it ready, but I'll send it to you so you can rewatch it if you want to make the meals later. That's cool. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Hey, thanks so much for joining me. I'm Kelly from the Family Freezer, and I am here today to walk you through making 6 healthy freezer meals in 30 minutes. Now, are you ready to make some meals with me at home? This is the first time I am doing this. I am actually giving you the opportunity to make the meals with me in real time. So I have this whole plan about pacing myself, telling you the ingredients so that you can make them at home. This is my first time doing this. It might be an epic failure. We're going to try it together. I think it's going to be very, very fun. And you're going to learn about freezer meals and stock your freezer at the same time, which will be so fun. Get out your measuring cups. Get out your measuring spoons. Maybe a cutting board. I'm going to grab, I have a chef's knife that I'm going to be using. And I'm going to do my best to keep us on track. So I'll tell you stories and tips as we go, even just to give you more time if you need to catch up, if you need to grab something from your pantry. No stress. We're all fun today. This is the freebie that I'm working off of. Now, when you signed up for class, this should have come directly to your email. I will send it out again after class if you need it. But in here, you're going to find 6 super simple, super organized recipes. That's what we'll be making here today, as well as a grocery list, your full shopping list organized by aisle at the grocery store. All my planners, you're going to love this. And then the labels. So labels that you can print and stick to your bags on a sticker, like me, if you're like a little crazy. Or you could cut them out, attach with tape, or you can just label your bags with a Sharpie marker. No problem. Now, I know a lot of people who are joining today are members of my site, Freezer Meal Pro. Hey, thanks so much. If you have not joined yet, I hope you can stay till the end of class. I am going to share a discount for you to join. I know once you see how easy this is, you're going to want to join. So I will share a discount with you. Let's go ahead and jump in. I want to show you how easy it is. So meal number 1 is shredded barbecue pork. I have a note on your recipe. You can also make this with chicken. Either way is delicious. All we're going to do is add the ingredients to our bag. Everything raw. Okay, if you haven't labeled your bag yet, You need to put a sticker on it, you need to tape it on, or you need to have like a pen, a marker, and you're writing the name of the recipe, shredded barbecue pork or shredded barbecue chicken if you're going to make the chicken, and then write the cooking instructions. So if you're making it in your crock pot, it would be low for 6 to 8 hours. I also have the Instant Pot directions on the recipe. And then I usually put a use by date, which is 3 months from when you prepped it. So that's really all you need if you're writing on the bag: the name of the recipe, the cooking instructions, and the use by date. I do like to label my meals. Now, I've made thousands of freezer meals, but I will tell you, once they're in the freezer, you will forget. You will have no idea what's in the bag. You won't know if you forgot an ingredient and still need to add it, how long it needs to cook. So label them if you can, and if you label them before you put the food in, that would be ideal. If not, after is fine, or just keep that stack of recipes. Let's add 1 cup of ketchup. Okay, that is our first ingredient. And everything about these recipes is that they're added raw. This is the secret to my method of freezer cooking. Everything is added raw. That's how we're going to make these meals so quickly. That makes them different from those marathon freezer meal sessions you see on Pinterest. People are spending all weekend stocking their freezer. No, I can barely find an hour to teach this class. We're not doing that. We're gonna make these really quick meals. They're raw, they cook for the first time out of your freezer and taste delicious. You're going to love them. These are all recipes I've written. I have tried them many, many, many times. I have shared them on my blog, The Family Freezer. I have shared them on my membership site, Freezer Meal Pro. Some of them have been featured in my cookbooks. They're gonna be good. You're gonna love them. Okay, 1 cup of ketchup. Now we're adding 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Did I say that right? Okay, 2 tablespoons. So go ahead and measure that out. Can you see I painted my nails for you? They're this really nice blue. It's like a new Essie shade. But I thought, well, I'm gonna be cooking. I wanna have nice nails. All right. 1 tablespoon of light brown sugar. I do not use a lot of sugar in my cooking. I want my meals to be as healthy as possible. I think 1 tablespoon is worth it in this recipe. It has 8 servings, and you're probably not going to eat all the sauce. So each serving has such a little amount of sugar. You could add honey if you wanted, but 1 tablespoon light brown sugar. Okay, then we need 1 tablespoon of chili powder. This recipe is on my membership site, Freezer Meal Pro, and I was reading the comments, which I love to do, and Diana said, my family loves this recipe. And I thought, great, I love it, Diana loves it. I know you're going to like it too. And that gives me a lot of confidence about you making these meals with me, either in real time or even together, or even alone on your own time later, is the idea that these have been tested again and again. I am sharing the best recipes with you, so I know you're gonna love them the very first time you make them. 2 teaspoons of curry powder. All right. Let's go ahead and add that to our bag. How I'm going to fill them is an assembly line. That means we're gonna add all the ingredients except the meat and then do the meat at the end. That way it stays in our refrigerators till the very end of the prep time. If you want to add the meat now, you can. I'm going to try and have time built in so that you can do that. 1 teaspoon of hot sauce. That's what we're adding here. But I'm going to wait to add the meat until the end. I think it's easier because then I'm only using my cutting board and knife 1 time to cut and prepare the meat. So I am going to wait to do that. Now I have these cool little baggie stands that I'm using. Whether you're new or not, you are the first to know we have Family Freezer branded stands, these beautiful white stands and bags. These are products I have been testing for years. Like, I can't even tell you how many years, how many hundreds of dollars I have spent testing these items, and then finally was like, I need to make them myself. So they are coming out, probably not for another month. They're not available for sale yet. But in your recipes, I have links to stands and bags that I have tried that I would recommend. So if you want to buy them right now, you can. After class, you'll be able to click that link, buy your stands or bags. Otherwise, hold out about a month and I'll send you an email and you can buy our actually family freezer, I think the best ones out there, and use these really great bags and stands. If you don't have these at home and you're filling in an assembly line, I don't want this liquid to end up on your floor. That's happened to me. That's why I got the idea I need to make these stands, because I had a whole bag dump and slump and spill all over the floor. No messes. I have a couple suggestions for you. You can just kind of, is my favorite suggestion. This is a 4-cup measuring cup and it fits a bag perfect. It's kind of like rolled over the top. I do have a couple other ideas. I was grabbing things in my kitchen that I thought would work to kind of keep your bag upright. So I have a bowl. Maybe you just have it sitting in a bowl if there's not a lot of liquid in the bag. Like this one's just a small marinade. This is like a mixing, like a baking bowl. You could do that. Or like a Tupperware. This one's glass, maybe plastic. Your bag is in there to hold it upright. If you like to live dangerously, you can just leave the bag like this. Maybe, try and position it so that it's not going to fall over. Or even you could do like a light seal. Just leave some air in there. Don't stress about it. And when we add the meat later, you could reseal it. Lots of options. Otherwise, this recipe is ready. Like these are all the ingredients. Oh, I want to tell you one more tip. If you don't have something as we're going, let's say you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have any hot sauce. Crap. Here's what you do. On your label, if you have a label or right on the bag, I want you to write like add 1 teaspoon hot sauce or plus 1 teaspoon hot sauce. If you want to, you could circle it on the recipe, put a little star next to it, add when cooking. You can wait to add it when you're cooking it. It doesn't have to be frozen with everything. I just don't want you to forget. And it's so easy to forget. I'll tell you, I actually have an Indian chicken recipe in my freezer right now. And I know I need to add something, and I don't know what it is. I think it's like a can of coconut milk that I didn't have at the time, but I didn't write it on the bag. And now I'm like, oh, I haven't cooked it yet because I'm not sure. I don't want to mess it up. So if you forget something, if you don't have something on hand, write it on your bag or highlight it on your recipe in some way so that you don't forget it later. Okay, I think we're ready for meal number 2, right? And that is our chicken teriyaki. I'm really excited. I love this recipe. So good. And we're just going to start putting all of our ingredients in. So the first is 1/3 cup of soy sauce. Let's go ahead and measure that out. And then we're going to add water to this meal too. It's actually 2/3 cup of water. I almost never add water to my meals. I think it just waters them down, takes out the flavor. But in this case, it takes out some of the sodium in the soy sauce and it adds enough liquid so if you want to cook it in the Instant Pot, it won't burn. So let's go ahead. I'm going to walk over to my sink and just do like 2/3 cup of water and put it in the bag. Bring my bag with me so I don't spill. I am using the same measuring cups, measuring spoons the entire time. We will wash them all at the end. I'll put them in my dishwasher. So easy. No need to wash as you go or to clean them out or to have a million of them. We're just going to use the same ones over and over again. 2 tablespoons of ketchup. That is next in our freezer bag. If we haven't met before, hello, welcome to my house, welcome to my kitchen. My name's Kelly. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for taking the chance on me and signing up for this class. I hope you have as much fun as I do. But I want to tell you a little bit about myself. Now, I started this method of freezer cooking 9 years ago. Like, where has the time gone? I had 2 young daughters at the time. My oldest daughter, I think, was about 2, and my second daughter was a baby at the time. I now have 5 kids, but I had 2 kids. And I just remember at the time, it felt like there was never enough time in the day. So I was taking care of my daughters. I was trying to work, trying to keep my house semi-clean, trying to do laundry, cooking dinner. And it felt like that was my entire day. There was no time for anything else. And I'm really good at planning. And I thought, what if I just planned some of my meals ahead of time? What if I didn't have to cook dinner every night? I had this like whole vision. It was like, well, if I had an extra 30 minutes or 60 minutes of dinner time, I could take my daughters up to the park up the road and play with them. Or when my husband gets home from work, we're going to sit down and really talk about his day and just catch up. I thought I could go for a run. I could go for a walk. Maybe my neighbor would meet me and we would go for a walk. Maybe we would go and visit my grandparents. Like I could take my girls there. I mean, really, the fantasy is real. I have this whole dream of this life if I had just had a little extra time. So what I did is I was making these crock pot meals at the time, and I thought they go into my crock pot raw. What if I just put them in the freezer raw and cook them later? That was like life-changing moment. So I ended up going to the grocery store. I picked 5 recipes. I made them that weekend. It only took me 45 minutes, and I'm pretty sure we ate them the next 5 days. And it really was like that life-changing where you do have extra time in your day, not only when you're cooking dinner, but it was like I was a little bit lighter and less stressed during the day. I wasn't thinking, what am I going to make for dinner? Do I need to run out to the grocery store? It was like, oh, I got this. Like, I'm so organized. And these meals are still helping me today. So like 9 years later, now I have 5 little kids. 3 of them are doing virtual school. Right now, it's like I still need these meals, and they really do work like over time. They're healthy, they're delicious, they taste good. And what I found is that I started sharing them on my blog, The Family Freezer, and so many other people were like, thank you, like write more recipes. Can you send more recipes? Can you create more? Because they wanted to make more. I had a blog post that went viral, like true viral, 8 million people in 1 month. It's like mind-blowing. So I ended up writing cookbooks. I have over 20 cookbooks now. We made over $1 million selling these cookbooks and just like changed our lives. This is now a full-time job for me and my husband, but also like had the opportunity to help so many other people who just need more time and are willing to do that, like a little bit of organization and prep work ahead of time. So thank you so much for doing that. I want to finish this meal. We are making our chicken teriyaki. I already added the soy sauce, the water, the ketchup. I still need to add a tablespoon of white vinegar. I think since I have shared these recipes so many times on my blog, or they have been on my membership site, they have been in cookbooks, that makes me really confident to share them with you. We've had them on, they've been featured on BuzzFeed, FoodNetwork.com. Like, I know that these aren't going to be a flop. You're not finding a recipe on Pinterest that then you make and it's like disgusting. Isn't that the worst when you try a new recipe and you're so excited and you're like, yes, I got this. And then you make it and it's not good. And you have to throw it away and order pizza or like make mac and cheese or something. Like, no, I only want to give you recipes that I have tried until I think they are perfect and that you can eat them. They're good enough to serve to guests, to share with your friends when someone has surgery, a baby. You can make these meals for them. They're going to be good. We need our seasoning. So 1/4 cup of light brown sugar. This is the last time we're using light brown sugar in this recipe. I promise you everything we are making today is healthy. I am willing to put 1/4 cup of light brown sugar in this recipe. If you wanted to use honey, you could, but it's not a lot of sugar. I see a lot of recipes online where people are adding like a cup of sugar to a meal. I would never do that. I'm adding like a cup of sugar to cookies, not to my dinner, but it's 1/4 cup. And this is many, many servings of food. You're not going to use all the liquid. Like, I will spoon a little bit of liquid over my meal when I eat it. My kids don't even do that. They don't even eat the extra liquid. So it's not going to be a lot of sugar. But I think you do need a little bit of sweetness. You could do honey. You could do a different sweetener if you don't want sugar. Let's add onion powder. 1 tablespoon. Ooh. I didn't drop it. I just told you I'm not making a mess here, right? All right, 1 tablespoon of onion powder. Then we need 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And 1 teaspoon of ground ginger. I promised I would share stories with you as we go. So if you're making these at home, you have extra time built in. If you're getting ingredients, I'm going to clean up at the end. If you want to do them as we go, that's fine too. But okay, here's a story. So Dallas Wedding Photography messaged me on Instagram. If you have messaged me before, thank you. You are the best. I love reading your messages. Instagram, Facebook, email. I get so many emails. You guys are the best because I love hearing how these meals are working for you. And that just motivates me to like keep going, keep sharing. So thank you. All right, let's read this one from Dallas Wedding Photography. Hey, Kelly, I've been a fan of freezer meals for years, but I don't do it consistently enough because it's not easy to find recipes. Well, no more. I'm so happy I discovered Family Freezer Pro and you this afternoon. I made 12 freezer meals, and my grocery pickup was over $160, and it only took about an hour and a half to assemble them with the help, in quotes, of my 3-year-old. Just want to say how much I love it. Thank you. Okay, this is awesome. Like, I love this because these meals aren't just helping my family. They're helping other people too. I hope you can see that they're going to work for you. Teresa sent me a message. I became a member of the Freezer Meals site after watching one of the videos. I hate cooking. I wasn't good at it. But now I make stress-free dinners that my family loves. Plus, I just spent $127 yesterday for 8 or 9 meals, which is a huge savings for us, and there's no food waste. I've thrown away so much food that I bought to make a recipe and didn't get the chance to, and it went bad, or had so much left over and no one ate it, which is the worst, right? So Teresa, yes, you're making these meals, they're working for you. Good job, right? Go Teresa. Let's move on to recipe number 3, lemon chicken with baby spinach. To this freezer bag, we are adding 5 ounces of baby spinach, the whole bag. It seems like a lot. It really cooks down in this recipe. It makes it flavorful. It makes it delicious. And nothing left. I hate when you have leftover ingredients that go to waste because you don't know what to do with them. I like to use the entire amount in my recipes. All right, now we need to add a 1/4 cup of olive oil. I'm going to use my liquid measuring cup here since I have it out. Okay. 1/4 cup. Then we are adding the juice from 1 lemon. This is so fresh and flavorful. And I am just going to use a fork to juice the lemon. I saw Rachel Ray do this once. I thought, hey, if this is what Rachel Ray does, then obviously this is what I'm going to do. But you could use, like, if you have like a juicer, that's fine. I'm just trying to cut down on the number of dishes that I have to add to my dishwasher when I'm done. Although I'll say one of the benefits of prepping these meals is you only clean up once. So not only are you like making the meals once, you're only cleaning up once. I'm squeezing this over my hands so that the seeds don't go in the bag. I washed my hands obviously before this class, so it's all good. Okay, there's half of our lemon. I'm gonna add the other half. I wish you could smell this. It smells so good. Love lemon, fresh lemon. It's such a good flavor for this time of year. All right. Okay. Let me point out what I'm wearing and waving my hands on right now. I am wearing, this is my freezer cooking apron. My mom actually made this. I don't know if you can see it. Let me get up on my tiptoes because it has a towel attached to the front. My mom and I have made so many freezer meals together. We've gotten together, once we made 28 freezer meals when I was pregnant. I think another time I was pregnant, we made 40 meals. We've made smaller groups too, 10 or 12 at a time. But my mom saw I kept like going through all these paper towels, like a roll of paper towels, or I'd be like, where's that other hand towel, kitchen towel? And I was cleaning up as I went. And she had this genius idea to just attach the towel. I always wear this. I became an apron person. And then other people started asking me, so she opened her own Etsy shop. She actually sells these. You can get one. I put the link in with your recipes if you want one. Please buy it today because she's going to sell out. She's only one person. She has sold a bunch in the past. She'll typically make some if she knows I'm having a class. She will sell out, but then she'll make more. She loves to sew. She's very good at it. So you'll see me wash, just like wiping my hands or measuring spoons on it as I go. Let's see what else we need. 1 tablespoon of parsley. I'm using dried parsley. If you want to use fresh, you could do that too. I'm just using all dried herbs and spices today. 1 tablespoon of parsley. We need 1 tablespoon of basil. These are all very flavorful meals, delicious meals. Okay, where's my basil? Let me look. Ooh, bear with me, I gotta go in my spice drawer. Thought I had everything ready ahead of time. Okay. These are all very flavorful meals. It's really important to me that they taste good, that you want to eat them, your kids want to eat them, your significant others want to eat them. So I always put a lot of spices, not to make them spicy, just to give them a lot of flavor so they taste good. We need 1 tablespoon of basil. All right. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Half teaspoon of pepper. And half teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of each one. Pepper and salt. I was looking at the comments on my member site for this recipe, and Lauren said, "This is my 2nd day of trying freezer meals. My family of 4 love this chicken, and 2 of us will have the leftovers for lunch today. Amazing flavors. The chicken is so tender. This one is going on my favorites list." This is going to be a good one. Olivia said, "This was the first freezer meal I tried. My boyfriend and I both loved it. Can't wait to make more of your recipes." It's really fun to read like what people say. And sometimes they ask questions in the comments and I'll respond or like give you tips if you need to make substitutions. So Leslie said, "This chicken recipe was the 4th recipe I have tried. I have to say these recipes are absolutely wonderful. Even my husband, who tends to be a bit fussy with what I cook, loves them. I'm retired. There's just the 2 of us at home, so 2 days meals with the leftovers. Makes my life so much easier not having to try and figure out dinner all the time. Thank you for a lifesaver." Yes, amazing. Good job, Leslie. I have another tip too. So Leslie said she's cooking these for her and her husband. She's retired, and that she loves that they can eat these for 2 days. So either they eat the leftovers or they eat them for lunch. Most of the meals do have 4 to 6 servings. If you're only cooking for 1 person or 2 people, and you don't want to eat the leftovers, or you don't want a lot of leftovers, what I recommend is just splitting the recipe into 2 smaller bags. So you could use those quart-size bags, just split them. You're going to have double the meals. You're still going to use all of the ingredients. So this whole bag of baby spinach will be used. You just put half in each bag, and the cooking time is the same. If you cook them in a slow cooker, you're going to do the same cooking time. Just do a smaller slow cooker. So smaller would be about 2 to 4 quarts. There was a time my grandparents were living at home. I made them 20 freezer meals this way. I took 10 recipes, I split them in 2, so they had a total of 20 meals, and then I tested, because I'm like a huge nerd, bought like a couple small slow cookers and tested them to find like the cooking time and get it just right. But it's the same cooking time as long as it's smaller, 2 to 4 quarts. So another option if you're cooking for less people. I think we're ready to move on. Are you guys with me? The ones who are making the meals at home? We're going right through these. We're ready to move on to number 4. Which is white chicken chili. This is a great recipe. Glenda said, "I just made this. It was delicious. We added cream to our individual bowls. This will go into my love it section." So that was a good idea. Glenda even added cream. I don't normally do that, but I love when people get creative and make the meals work for them. Because really, that is the best meal. The way you're going to stick with these and make them over and over again is when they work for you, your family, your diet. You'll find most of these are naturally gluten-free, dairy-free. I have a lot of recipes that'll work for paleo, keto, etc. So they probably will work for you, even vegetarian. So that's great. You won't have to do a lot of substitutions. To this bag, we're adding 1 onion. Now, I must really love you because I am going to dice this onion right now. My members or people who have seen me make freezer meals before will know I do not like cutting fresh onions. I always buy frozen diced onions. They sell them at my grocery store. They're $1 a bag in the freezer section, pre-diced. And there's about 3.5 cups per bag. 3.5 cups, which I consider 3.5 onions for $1. Great deal. And they're already diced. I just substitute 1 cup of pre-diced onions per onion called for in the recipe. But I knew for this class that some people were going to be making the recipes with me live. And so I felt like I was cheating a little bit if I brought the frozen ones and didn't tell you ahead of time, or if you shopped somewhere and couldn't find them. I really try to make all of my recipes just have normal ingredients you could find at any store. I don't want you to have to shop at like 5 different stores, specialty stores. I want you to be able to get everything from one store if you want to. So keep an eye out for those frozen diced onions. They are a game changer. Like once you use it, you don't want to cut an onion again. All right, 1 onion, 2 cans of cannellini beans, drained and rinsed. These are white kidney beans, and I already drained them and rinsed them. I did that ahead of time. So if you're at home, you still need to do that. Just put them under the water in a strainer. Make sure they're drained and rinsed. That gets off extra sodium, kind of that sliminess. Okay, 2 cans. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, and then we need a jar of salsa verde. This is 16 ounces. If you can't find salsa verde, you can do regular salsa. That's fine too. It just won't be as white of a chili. It'll have some red tomato in it, but I have done that in the past. 1 jar of salsa verde, 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I'm just gonna wipe this one on my apron because I really don't want to try and find another tablespoon. Okay. It had ketchup on it. You couldn't see. Okay, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 2 cups of chicken broth. Now, I really went back and forth about whether I wanted to add this today. You can always add broth to your freezer meals. If it fits in the freezer bag, you can add it, or you can wait to add it the day of cooking. Sometimes I wait because when you add the broth, it's more that has to thaw. So when I actually cook these meals, I'm going to do a cooking demo at the end for you, but I add them frozen to my Instant Pot or my crock pot. I add them frozen. The only thing that gets tricky is when they're frozen in a shape that doesn't fit in your appliance. So if this is a frozen, let's say it's a square, I stack these in my freezer. A frozen square doesn't fit in an oval slow cooker. So then you have to thaw it a little bit. I'll just run it under water normally. Not a huge deal. But if I was adding 4 cups of liquid or more, or if this was really full of veggies, it just takes longer to thaw. And I can be so impatient in the morning. So I just want to add it and be done. So you could wait to add it the day of cooking. Just make sure that that's on your label or on your bag that you need to add liquid so you don't forget. Sometimes it helps to wait to add the liquid for the Instant Pot meals too, so there's less of a chance of burning. You can just add that liquid, help it reach pressure. But in this case, 2 cups of liquid. We could always add a little bit more to chili. Very versatile. Hard to mess up this meal. It's going to be so good. Also, we need 1.5 teaspoons of cumin. That's our last ingredient for this meal. 1.5 teaspoons. All of these meals are budget friendly. Is anyone else like trying to stick to a grocery budget? Or like always trying to save money at the store? I mean, I have 5 kids. I'm always doing that. So these are very affordable. Okay, how much did I spend? I spent $69.23 on the ingredients to make these 6 meals. And that, we actually spent more money than that ordering Chinese last weekend. Just to give you an idea. So we spent more money for dinner one night than I spent to buy the ingredients for all of these meals, all 6 meals today. I think they all have 6 servings. The one even had 8 servings. And so even if you're adding a side dish or you want to serve this chili with chips or cheese, like it's still very affordable. I did the math. I spent $69.23, that would be $11.53 per meal with 6 servings, or $1.92 per serving. Yes, I am a nerd. Yes, I love numbers. Anybody else? Any other spreadsheet lovers out there? Do you get this? Whether you do or not, I think you get the idea that these are affordable. I didn't use any coupons. I didn't shop sales. I just bought everything I needed to make today. But you could save a lot of money too if you did shop sales, if you do buy the ingredients in bulk. You can save even more. I read online that the average American eats out 4 to 5 times a week and spends $3,000 a year eating out. So think how much money you could save if you were able to eat at home more often. Obviously, I'm not opposed to like eating out or ordering. I said we ordered Chinese takeouts, so I don't think you have to be perfect. But if you're trying to save money, this is really an easy way to do it. Let's move on. Is this everything? Yes, let's do recipe number 5. Now, this is a really fun recipe. It is spicy garlic lime chicken. Not super spicy. I would say spice only in terms of being very flavorful. And I love this recipe because it can be cooked in the crock pot, in the Instant Pot, on the grill. Like really any option. You can do it all with this recipe. We need 1/4 cup of olive oil. I love using olive oil in my grill recipes. I think it's really great for a grill marinade. All of your cooking directions are in your printable recipe on it, and then also on the label, all the options as well, if you end up printing them either on stickers or taping them to your bags. We need to add the juice and zest of 1 lime. I am not doing anything fancy. I'm going to use this like grater that I have and just get as much lime zest as I can. If you're not used to using citrus zest, you'll see you're just kind of like grating it down so it gets like the white of the fruit. Oh, it already smells so good. This is adding extra flavoring. If I knew I was going to grill this, I might only do the zest. I might slice up that lime, add it to water, drink that when I'm done making all these meals, feeling pretty good about myself. You actually don't need the juice in terms of the flavoring. The zest is enough, but I don't know. I just didn't want to have that fruit go to waste. If let's say you didn't feel like slicing it up and eating it. When I was planning to make this recipe today, I thought, oh, let's just add the lime juice too. Let's add it all to the bag. Why not, right? I promise you we're going to use all our ingredients. Okay. We need to slice our lime, add the lime juice. Okay. I'm still waiting to add all the meat. I will do that at the end once I'm done with all these meals. I want to say crockpot recipes in particular get a bad rap. I mean, people think they are bland. They're mushy. They all taste the same. Like, I've heard it. People email me. I see the messages. I see stuff on Instagram, on social media. And I understand. Like, I've tried some really bad recipes myself. And so what I was doing when I was picking these meals, and what I do, I mean, honestly, when I'm writing a cookbook, or I'm writing new recipes for my blog, is include a variety of recipes with different tastes, different textures, and enough seasoning so that they're delicious. Like I promise you. Okay, so we're on meal number 5. Here's the variety we have here today. Let me look at my list. A shredded barbecue pork, chicken teriyaki, lemon chicken with baby spinach. You could eat that with pasta. White chicken chili, a spicy garlic lime chicken, and what's our last one is chicken enchiladas. So a lot of chicken. Okay, I love chicken. But the variety of the meals, different side dishes. Every recipe has suggested side dishes. This one says serve with corn on the cob and salad or rice. Super simple sides. But this will be very different than, let's say, I said the lemon chicken with baby spinach. We would serve that with pasta, like over spaghetti. Or the barbecue shredded pork. That one is on rolls with a salad, or you could do watermelon. That'd be good too. Chicken teriyaki, obviously very different. I serve that with broccoli and rice. So you could eat these every night of the week. They're not going to be the same. They're all going to be totally different tastes, totally different flavorings. So you can trust these meals. What else do we need to add? A teaspoon of garlic powder. Alrighty. And then I need a teaspoon of pepper. If you're nervous about it, I wouldn't be nervous about 1 teaspoon of pepper, but it's okay if you are, or if you don't like pepper, don't add it, especially if you're making this in your Instant Pot, your crock pot. You can just taste it, even on the grill. It's like you can always sprinkle a little pepper on it. You can add that at the end. The same thing if you're making soup and like you don't like pepper, just don't add it and then taste it at the end and you feel like, Kelly was right, it needs a little bit of pepper. Then go ahead and add the pepper, or you could add a little less than what I told you to do. And just do that before serving. I want to make sure these meals like work for you and that they are exactly with your diet, your tastes, because that's what you need, food that tastes good, right? Isn't that what it's all about? Like everyone wants food that tastes good. All we need is 1 pinch of salt, about 1/8 of a teaspoon. That's everything for this marinade. Now you'll see this one doesn't have a ton of liquid. So I put a note, if you're making this in the Instant Pot, you're gonna need to add a 1/4 cup of liquid to help it reach pressure. I said you could use water or chicken broth. It's totally up to you, it doesn't matter, but just to make sure. And that's included in your recipe, that's on your label so that you know to do that. It's even in the shopping list. It's like things that could be needed the day of cooking. There aren't a lot of them, but I am crazy like that and organized. I wanna give you like all the info. Let's move on to our final recipe, number 6. Okay. Oh wait, I forgot. I have to read Kayla's message. Hey Kayla, we have to live in a hotel for 2 to 3 weeks. I did your online class and bought the membership. It has saved us. We still have access to our deep freeze in our garage, so I just go grab one the night before and thaw it in our mini fridge in the hotel. Throw it in the crock pot that morning and we have dinner ready that night. Thank you. Thank you, Kayla. I love that. I love that these are working in a mini fridge in a hotel. Like, amazing. If you know anyone who is camping, anyone who's redoing their kitchen, any other reason, these would be great to have on hand. Let's do our last recipe. It's our chicken enchiladas. I have a note on this recipe. If you want to do baby spinach instead of chicken, this is a great vegetarian recipe. And I tell you exactly what to do. It would be 10 ounces of baby spinach for the chicken. I've made it that way. It's really good. All we need is a diced onion. Let me clean up a little bit. Make sure I have some space. Okay, 1 diced onion. If you're using those frozen diced onions, you would use 1 cup. Okay, so Karen made these. I was checking out our membership site and seeing comments. Karen said, amazing, these will be a regular meal in our house. Jeanette said, new recipe for keeps, delicious. Jen said, oh my gosh, this was so amazing. My husband could not stop eating it. We use chicken thighs, that's fun. And sauce in the crock pot. And then we rolled these in whole wheat tortillas and bake them in the oven, topped with cheese just for the last 10 minutes. Really good. Okay, awesome. So Jen made these her own, and obviously they're liking this recipe. I think you're gonna like it too. I'm excited. I get excited making meals for this class because sometimes it has me make a recipe I haven't had for a while. So this is a good one. I think most of my kids will eat it too. It's hard to please 5 little kids. Like, what can I make that all 5 will eat? Even if most of them will eat it, I consider that a huge win. Okay. All right. 1 onion. Our next ingredient is 15-ounce can of tomato paste, 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder, okay, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm putting the lids back on my seasonings and spices now because this is our last meal. 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. I think you can see how easy the cleanup is going to be whenever I'm done. I'm just going to put these measuring cups and spoons right in my dishwasher. So simple. 1/2 teaspoon crushed red pepper flakes and 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. That's it. The day of cooking, you will add some shredded cheese and tortillas. That's on your recipe. Let me add my half teaspoon of garlic powder. Okay, then we're gonna do our meat. If you haven't added your meat yet, let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna do it all at once. I only have to wash my knife and cutting board once. And we don't have to worry about cross-contamination. So let me clear my cutting board. Grab my meat. We'll add it to every bag and as we go. Okay, let's start at the beginning in case you are making these with me. I'm gonna go in order with our pork. So let's do our pork roast. This is a boneless pork roast. This is actually a loin. I had ordered my groceries online and this is what they gave me. So very versatile. Like I said, you could even do chicken in this meal and that would be really good. I am going to trim just like the most obvious bits of fat. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is especially this meal, I'm going to shred it after cooking and I'll be able to get any extra fat off later, but if I can save myself a little bit of time later, that's helpful. If you have someone else cooking the meal for you, maybe you have one of your kids or you have a partner or a spouse or somebody who's going to be cooking these, they'll thank you later. Just like save them a little bit of time. That looks good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put our pork in here. Now, I'm just going to try and make room. We need chicken, right? Chicken teriyaki. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Now, all of my chicken that I bought, I'm just going to do one package per bag. It's normally they're between 1 to 2 pounds. A lot of the recipes call for 1.5 pounds. I'm just going to call it a day with whatever's in each package. I think that's good enough. Even if you had bought these in bulk, it would be totally fine if you're not using a kitchen scale and you're just eyeballing how much to put in each bag. That's fine. Recipe 3, lemon chicken. I think that's recipe 3. Andy gives me a thumbs up. My husband said I'm right. Okay. That's good. You'll have time. If I'm going too fast, don't worry. You're going to have time to add the meal. So I still have some more tips to share with you. And I'll answer your questions live that you have, and I'll do a quick cooking demo. So I'm just going to do my best to add this to keep us on track, and then you can finish yours up if you're still going. Okay. I'm putting all the breasts in whole, and then normally we shred them after cooking. That's totally up to you. Normally, some of the recipes will say if you want to, you can slice the chicken. That would be fine. Even if we grill. So I'm adding 2 chicken breasts. It looks like all these packages have 2 breasts. So since these will still be 4 to 6 servings, they're just large. The packages I got had large chicken breasts in them. And they will cook down and I'll just shred them so that everyone gets some shredded chicken. And the grill, we normally slice it whenever it's done cooking so that, especially with kids, it's they can just take some of the sliced chicken as opposed to a huge chicken breast. If you want to buy more, that'd be fine. Or for a grill recipe, you like the thinly sliced breast, that would be fine. You get more. If you want to give each person their individual chicken breast, that would be fine. I wouldn't even change the marinade or the other ingredients. I think there's plenty in these meals. Okay. This was easy to add the meat because I did all chicken besides the pork. So you could have even done chicken in there. If you did the vegetarian, you just would have added the baby spinach to the enchiladas. But otherwise we have that. So all I'm gonna do is wash my hands and so that I can seal these meals. So give me a minute. You can keep adding if you are. Okay, let's seal up our bags. I'm going to show you how I do it. Now, this one is very full liquid. This is the chicken chili that I'm worried about spilling all over your counter. Be careful with that one if you don't have the baggy stands. All I do when I'm sealing these is seal them about like an inch or two that's left over here, and then I squeeze the air out and then finish the seal. There we go. And then I stack them like this in my freezer. These stands, they collapse down. They could hold a quart-size bag or go flat in your drawer. Cool, right? Let's go ahead. I'm not going to seal them in any order. They're all done. I'm just going to kind of move over. There's about an inch left. You can roll it if there's not a lot of liquid just to get all that air out. People worry about freezer burn. To be honest, I really have not had issues with freezer burn. I don't think it's as big of an issue as people say. Sometimes there might be some ice crystals. That's not even true freezer burn. Freezer burn is like gray, like tinted food. So these will be good at least for 3 months in your freezer. I have a deep freezer that'll last even, maybe 6 months or more. I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a freezer meal go bad. One, we eat them fairly quickly because we're so excited. I'm so excited not to cook dinner. And then I do think they last a long time. But normally I say 3 months is a good idea to like use your meal in that time frame. Okay, one more. If you do not have room in your freezer, so let's say you cleaned out your freezer, maybe you forgot. If you don't have room in your freezer right now, add these to your fridge. They should be good for at least 5 days. So if you were going to cook these, if you used fresh meat, they should be good for 5 days in your fridge, or you can end up making room in your freezer, throw out all that stuff that's expired, and then put some in the freezer later. Now, I hope at this point you are like, life has changed, light bulb moment, texting your friends, your sister, your mom, your daughter, and saying, you're not going to believe these freezer meals. I watched this crazy lady prep all these meals. It was so simple. We're doing this. So what I want to do is show you a quick demo of my membership site. I know a lot of members are here, but if you haven't, I want to show you how it works. It is one of a kind. Nothing else is like it. So I'm just going to grab my other mic and grab my computer so I can actually show you how it works. Okay, this is Freezer Meal Pro. And when you log in here, you can access all of my easy and healthy freezer recipes. These are all meals that can be frozen raw. And I just want to show you some of my favorite features of this site because it's really one of a kind. Now, let's say we made a bunch of chicken meals today. So let's say we want to make a vegetarian freezer meal. Go ahead and search the recipes, and it's going to pull up meals that we might want to make. So if we look at the pictures, this black bean and rice soup is jumping out at me. Everyone loves this recipe, even if you're not a vegetarian. Tastes a bit like chili. And you can scroll down, see the very simple ingredients. It's mostly seasonings, very flavorful. All of the directions to freeze and cook later, to cook in the crock pot, to cook in the Instant Pot. Full nutrition facts. Everything on Freezer Meal Pro has these features. And then you just click the little shopping cart icon to add it to your shopping list. Let me show you some other ways to search for meals. There is a recipe search. So let's look at special diets. Okay, we have dairy-free, diabetic, gluten-free, keto, paleo, vegetarian, and whole food, which is like Whole30. If I was eating gluten-free, I wanted to look for some gluten-free recipes, ones that are easy to modify. You can search there. And immediately this ginger garlic marinated chicken is popping out at me. This also can be cooked on the grill. So not all crock pot meals, lots of options here. Super simple recipe, directions, nutrition info. Let's make this. Add it to our shopping list. Some other search options are ingredient, cookbook, cooking method, protein, and then I showed you diet. Let's do cooking method and choose a stovetop meal. These are those 15-minute dinners. You don't know what you're going to make. If you have one of these waiting in the freezer, it's a jackpot. You're giving yourself a high five. Let's do this chicken Philly cheesesteak Sloppy Joe's. It's just kind of a twist on Sloppy Joe's. This is very kid-friendly, adult-friendly, simple ingredients. This would be great. I actually have a green pepper on hand, so I will use that. Let's add this to my shopping cart and search for protein. I'm going to choose beef. So ground beef is on sale at my grocery store this week. So I'm going to search for beef and see if I can take advantage of that sale and make some freezer meals. Now, I could scroll through here, but I know I want to make this simple crock pot taco soup. This is one we really like, really flavorful, tons of seasonings, just so good. It has the directions for the Instant Pot and crock pot. Now, I'm going to actually make 2 freezer bags of this since that ground beef is on sale, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. But for now, I'm adding it to my shopping cart because I want to show you like the most amazing, how the magic happens. And that is when we go to my shopping list, because all of those recipes that I just picked are added here. And not only the recipes here, but a full organized shopping list is here by aisle at the grocery store. You can see everything that you need to buy. This is just like, it blows my mind because I hate writing shopping lists. They just can be such a pain. So your whole shopping list is here, ready to go. And you can click off what you have on hand. So I said I have a green pepper. You can scroll through. Maybe you're like, okay, I already have a carton of beef broth in my pantry. I have freezer bags. I don't need those. And you can just click off to see what you need at the store. Now, I mentioned that I wanted to make 2 of those crock pot taco soups since ground beef was on sale. So up here, if I was going to double that recipe, I would just increase it to 12 and automatically this is updated. So I saw those black beans adjusting, the amount of ground beef just doubled. It is auto adjusting your shopping list based on the servings. And this would also work if you were cooking for less people. If you only wanted to make half as many servings, you can do that and auto adjust your shopping list. It really is such a time saver. And then when you're ready, oh wait, I'll leave it because I actually do want to make those 12. All you do is you click Save Menu, because your menu is something you're going to use this over and over and over again. You can make these same meals next time ground beef is on sale. And then we will go to Print Menu because we're ready. This has everything. I'm not going to actually print it, but I'll show you. It has the full shopping list and then has all of the recipes. So literally in like 5 minutes, you just picked your next 5 freezer meals you're going to make. You have your full shopping list and the recipes to print. So you are ready to go ahead and restock your freezer. If you are not a member yet, all you need to do is go to freezermealpro.com/meal prep. freezermealpro.com/meal prep. I will include that in your email after class and in your freebie, because this is where you can join for a one-time fee. $97, no annoying charge later. This is a one-time fee, no strings attached. You are going to log in here and use it over and over and over again to make freezer meals, to save time and to save money. Now, I want to show you some more features because you can scroll down, and this is for 2 days only. You can read about what people love about the program. You can find out more about me, how I fell in love with freezer meals, how they're working for my family, read more about other members and what they love about Pro. I know a bunch of people here today. Guys, thank you. Like, our members are the best people ever. Scroll down, see some meals, figure out if it's going to work for you. Because I want to point out that when you join Freezer Meal Pro, you get access to all of my cookbook ebooks. Right now, this is over 20 downloads. You could access today, see all of these meals. They have shopping lists included. Most of them have labels included. There's an Instant Pot cheat sheet. Really just so many bonuses beyond the recipes on Pro and the shopping list that are included in your membership for free. And when I write new ebooks, they're added to Freezer Meal Pro for free. So I know you're going to love that. So make sure you do that. Okay, let's say you are ready to join. You're going to click Add to Cart. And I'm going to give you a coupon code because you are here today. Not only can you join for $97, which would be totally worth it. If you join for $97, give yourself a pat on the back, be ready to change your life with these meals. But you took time out of your day. You are here. Thank you. If you would like to save extra money, because who wouldn't, you are just going to enter the code for the next 2 days. It is Meal Prep. Meal Prep. good for 2 days only. You are in that meal prep class, so it will take off 20%. You're going to save $19.40, bringing your one-time fee down to $77.60. This is a great deal. If you know you want to join, please do it now. I know someone's going to email me next week. Probably multiple people are going to email me next week and say, do you have a sale going on? Do you have a promotion? Do you have a new coupon code? Guys, no. Please don't wait. I only do these classes like every few months, 3 to 6 months right now. I don't even know when I'm doing another one. So please join now. I really want you to join. And I want you to get this best deal. Although, hey, if you get that 97, like I said, don't feel bad about it. Click proceed to checkout because all you need to do is enter your name, last name, email address, billing details, and then check your email. No typos here. Check your email because that is where you're going to find your link to log in. And I will start sending you tips right away so that you make the very most out of your membership. Okay, I know we're nearing the end of our class time, but if you have 5 more minutes, I'm going to answer your questions live and then do a quick cooking demo of how I actually make these meals. Let's go to your comments. If you have questions, I will answer them now. Thank you for attending today's class. I know a common question is, can I use frozen meat? Now, I used fresh meat today to make these meals, but you can use frozen meat. That's totally fine. Add it to the meals frozen. Don't thaw it. Just add it frozen. Or you could assemble the other ingredients like marinades or veggies or whatever and wait to add that meat the day of cooking. Totally fine to add frozen meat. Let's answer other questions. I'm checking my iPad to see what people are saying. Okay. Lots of members here today. Thank you. You guys are the best. I love you. All right, let's say what else. Can you save this and watch it later? We'll send out a replay if we can create a recording. Thank you for coming. Oh my gosh, did I just like answer every single question during class? I'm that good, right? Like nobody else, all questions are answered. Membership is a one-time fee. It's all US dollars. How much? Oh, okay, Sheila, how much is 2 pounds of chicken? I would just guess. I mean, either look at the package, buy a package that says 2 pounds, or use 2 very large breasts, or just add as much chicken as you think that you want to eat. That's totally fine. You don't need a kitchen scale. I've used them, but you don't have to. Any other question? Oh, I saw one question that was about these bags. If you have a reusable bag and it stains, how to get that off? I have 2 tips. 1, dry it in the sun. The sunshine really is like magic for getting stains out. So you can do that for your bag, dry it in the sun. My second tip is, let's say one just gets tomato sauce on it. Maybe that's just your tomato sauce bag. And the next time you make freezer meals and you're making a meatball soup and it has tomato base, just use that bag every time. I think that's fine too. All right. I want to do a quick cooking demo. So I'm going to put these in the freezer. You can, like I said, you can put them in the fridge if you were making them live with me. And if you don't have room in your freezer, clean it out later. Let me show you how you would make these. If you were doing your crock pot, here's mine. If this is totally frozen, it's like this. You might need to run it under water. And then to make sure it'll fit in the crock pot, we're just dumping this in. We add the lid, and then we do the cooking time. Mine's programmable, so I can put in, I would do about 4 hours if this was completely frozen. This is very high-powered, cooks quickly. If you always do 8 hours and it's perfect, do 8 hours. Your slow cooker. If you don't, you might need to just do a little bit of testing. Mine, it's only 4 hours. If I was cooking this fresh, let's say I wanted to make this tonight, I never even froze it, I would probably just do 3 hours. So if there's a range of cooking time, I would do the lower end if it wasn't frozen. Maybe an hour difference. Sometimes there's no difference at all. So not a huge difference between frozen and fresh. Maybe just like an hour less at most. Okay, let me show you the Instant Pot. If you're cooking in your Instant Pot, especially if you freeze this in a circle container, sometimes I do that, you can put this in frozen, follow the directions on your recipe or your label, but I saute for 5 minutes. That releases a little bit of liquid. Then I flip over the meal, put back on the lid. It's not in the bag, right? I don't need to tell you guys that, do I? Let's imagine I had dumped this in and the bag is going to be washed in my sink. Okay, we put this on, it's on sealing. I just do pressure cook and then the amount of time listed. Let's say if this is frozen chicken, 25 minutes to really get tender. And then I do a natural release. I think that's the best for meat. Follow your directions. I have all the details listed for you. I'm crazy about detail. It's all in there. It's really that easy. So a couple final shout outs. I had some people who responded to me about Pro. Cheryl said, I'm a member and love this plan. I just had chicken fajitas from the freezer and they were delicious. It really makes the day easier to have a nice meal ready to make. Awesome. Carrie said, our family loves Freezer Meal Pro. The recipes have been yummy and easy. I love having meals in the freezer ready to go. Thank you for such a great membership. And Mary said, I can't thank the Family Freezer enough for helping me make meal planning so much easier. I just did 12 freezer meals a few days ago for this month. I'm going to buy a small deep freezer so I can have more freezer meals prepped at once. My family of 5 with 3 boys loves them. Great job, Mary. You guys are doing so great. So I would love to hear how these meals are working for you. Respond to my email. I'll send you an email after class. Let me know if you're making them. I would love to hear from you, and you just really motivate me to just keep going and keep sharing. So thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to be here. I really appreciate it. I'll see you later.
Yep. I was recording it.